Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WWE 2K24 Universe mode, and we're here with the final Raw before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So in this match we have another women's qualifying match, so I believe there's just 1 or 2 spaces left. I think there's actually 2 spaces left on the women's side of things. Now we do actually have a tweet right here from Stone Cold Steve Austin, so he is the general manager of Monday Night Raw in this universe, and he's announcing that in the main event we're going to have a men's Money in the Bank qualifying match between AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura and Tommaso Ciampa. So those 3 were unsuccessful at becoming the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship a couple of weeks back. But also, Stone Cold has announced that there's going to be a surprise appearance in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match and the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So on Raw's side, they have 2 surprises at the pay-per-view. I wonder who they could be. But as for now, we've got Charlotte Flair, the Queen, hopefully looking to get herself into that women's Money in the Bank ladder match and hopefully holding that briefcase. But she's got one hell of a challenge coming up for her. She has to come up against this opponent before she can make it to that ladder match. So Charlotte Flair, as we said, she's looking to get a hold of that briefcase and potentially get back into that world title picture. But she has to go up against Raquel Rodriguez. Now this is going to be one hell of a fight. 2 very, very powerful women. I'm sure that all the other superstars, all the other female superstars in that ladder match would not want either of these 2 to qualify, to be honest. The power that will be on display by either one of these is going to be absolutely incredible. Well, let's get into this matchup. What a way to start Monday Night Raw. So Charlotte Flair about to go one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez, 2 of the most powerful and strongest women in the division. Look at the size of Raquel. I didn't realize how big she is. Slamming Charlotte Flair down to the mat to start things off. So yeah, Stone Cold has announced that there's going to be a few surprises at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Let me know in the comments who you think those surprises could be. There's the men's division as well as the women's division, and it could literally be anyone. But as for now, Raquel Rodriguez trying to get on top here. The Queen is struggling a little bit here against the power of Raquel. And Raquel Rodriguez with Charlotte Flair face first into the turnbuckle and in a big boot. Raquel Rodriguez going in for the cover here, looking for an early victory, but no, it's going to take a lot more than that to keep Charlotte Flair down. I guess Raquel Rodriguez is just asserting her dominance, sending a message to the Queen. Oh, a kip up there from Charlotte, but straight back into the clutches of Raquel. Drives Charlotte into the corner. Big shoulder tackles to the midsection and a clubbing blow to the back. Charlotte Flair looking to take a breather, create some space. But Raquel Rodriguez up to the top rope and an elbow to the back of the head. Drops Charlotte Flair down. And now back into the ring. Charlotte Flair able to turn things around briefly. And Charlotte just taking a breather here, taking her time to get back into the ring. And oh, I thought she may have been going for the spear there, but she took Raquel out. And I'm not sure about the rope break just there. That was a bit odd. A bit of an odd call by the ref, but Charlotte Flair seemed a bit upset by that as well. But we continue with the action. Now Charlotte Flair going for those chops. Now targeting the leg of Raquel Rodriguez. Perhaps trying to take the power away from the big woman. Charlotte with some quick strikes here. Charlotte Flair really targeting that knee and that leg. Oh my word, what's she going for here? Oh my god. She's going for the freaking figure 4 leg lock almost. On the ring post. Oh my word. Charlotte Flair potentially setting up that figure 4 leg lock for later on. Raquel Rodriguez needs to be careful that she doesn't take too much damage, because if she heads into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view injured, it's not going to bode well for her. Charlotte Flair bringing Raquel Rodriguez back to her feet, and now what's she got planned? sending Raquel back into the ring, and Charlotte slowly makes her way around. Makes her way back into the ring. Now locking up with Raquel Rodriguez, and again targeting that leg. Really trying to take out those knees and weaken the legs of Raquel Rodriguez. Into the cover now, the Queen. No, not even a 1 count. Gonna take more damage than that. Raquel Rodriguez is a fighter. This is one hell of a match that we have here. Charlotte Flair now. What's she looking for here? Charlotte Flair, look at the athleticism. Into the cover now. Could she be getting the victory? No. Raquel Rodriguez gets the shoulder up, and Charlotte Flair's not happy with the ref. Seems to believe that it may have been a 3 count, but Raquel's near the ropes here. Could she potentially get a rope break, or has there been enough damage done? Into the bridge now is Charlotte Flair, but no. She releases the hold. Perhaps she realized that not enough damage was done. Oh, and Raquel Rodriguez feeling it here. These two trading blows now. Charlotte Flair getting the upper hand. Raquel Rodriguez returning the favor. Big strikes. Back and forth. Who's going to come out on top? Charlotte Flair with a big chop, and into the cover once again. Could this be it? Charlotte Flair to head to the Money in the Bank, and she's done it. Well, it looked like for a while Charlotte Flair was in a bit of trouble, but she turned it around pretty quickly, and now Charlotte Flair will head to the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and that is the final competitor that we know of. There's just one more spot left, and that's going to be a surprise at the pay-per-view. So next time we'll see Charlotte will be in that ladder match. So, heading backstage here, and Alexa Bliss calling out for Bray. I need you, please. I need you now more than ever. What? What is going on? What the heck? I won't be controlled anymore, not by you, not by Auntie Howdy, not by anyone. I'm Alexa Bliss. I'll not submit to your twisted games. Who's she talking to? What, Auntie Howdy? What do you want from me? Why won't you leave me alone? I've tried to fight you to resist your influence, but it's like you're always there, lurking in the darkness, waiting to strike. What is going on with Alexa Bliss right now? It kind of seems like she's fighting within herself. You think you can break me? You think you can tear me apart and remake me in your image? I don't know who she's talking to right now. You're wrong. I am not your puppet, Auntie Howdy. I am not your plaything. Okay, so she's talking to Auntie Howdy a bit here, but it kind of seems like Auntie Howdy may be in Alexa's head. We are one, Auntie Howdy and I. What? Two sides of the same coin, bound together by darkness and despair. You cannot defeat us, for we are eternal. We are unstoppable. What the heck is Alexa Bliss talking about? Bray, please help me. She's really struggling here, guys. I don't know how much longer I can fight this. Bray, I need you to save me from this nightmare. Oh my goodness. So I feel like Alexa thinks Bray is the one to save her. Oh my god. Well, moving on, and moments ago we just saw Alexa Bliss seem to be fighting within herself. Getting quite worried about Alexa, to be honest, right now. I don't know what is going on with her, but yeah, moving on with the show, and we're back into the Intercontinental title picture now. Last week the main event ended a bit disappointingly. We had a draw between Imperium and Alpha Academy, as there was a double count out between this man and Giovanni Vinci, but Chad Gable is in singles action here tonight, so hopefully we won't have any count outs or anything like that today, but he will be going up against the other member of Imperium. Let's get him right out here. So Chad Gable will be heading to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to face Gunther for that Intercontinental Championship, but tonight he's going up against his right-hand man, Gunther's right-hand man, that is Ludwig Kaiser. Well, Ludwig Kaiser's going to be looking to perhaps send a message to Gunther and maybe even the rest of... Sorry, not Gunther, Chad Gable. And maybe even the rest of the locker room. Perhaps make a statement that he's not just here to be Gunther's right-hand man. Perhaps he's looking to assert his own dominance on the division. Let's get into this action. Right, here we go. Singles action then. A little bit of a preview for the Money in the Bank. Chad Gable with an opportunity to gain some momentum. I've yet to see Gunther actually in any action. He was obviously involved in that tag team match, but he didn't actually get tagged in, I'm afraid, which was a bit of a shame. But Chad Gable looking to have a good start here. Now Chad Gable going into a submission hold quite early here with a crossface. Could Kaiser? No, Kaiser's able to get out of it. I was just about to say, could he be about to tap out? But it's very early on. Gonna need to do more damage. Maybe Chad Gable's just trying to send a message, stating that he knows about the submission holds. He's a bit of a specialist in that field. Ludwig Kaiser now into the cover. After that springboard crossbody, but Chad Gable easily able to kick out there. Now Ludwig Kaiser trying to stay on top here. Working on the arm of Chad Gable. Potentially hyperextending that elbow there. Now into a bit of an ankle lock or leg lock. Targeting the leg and the knee. Really working on those limbs. Ludwig Kaiser telling Chad Gable to get up. Now back to his feet, sent into the corner. And Ludwig Kaiser with a big shoulder tackle in the corner. Now he's just choking him out. The ref needs to get involved here. I believe the ref may have said that's enough, but the damage has probably been done. Although Chad Gable with Ludwig Kaiser now and tossing him back into the middle of the ring. Now Chad Gable looking for perhaps a German suplex here. Oh my goodness. What is this? Chad Gable slamming Ludwig Kaiser down to the canvas. And big right hands. Chad Gable trying to stay on top here. Hooks the arms into the cover perhaps. No. Chad Gable trying to stay on top of things here. Getting the crowd behind him. Ludwig Kaiser quickly back to his feet. Chad Gable didn't expect that. Now Ludwig Kaiser, oh my goodness. I think Chad Gable's been busted wide open. That does not bode well for him when he's got less than a week until the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And Chad Gable now rolled over into that mount and delivered some elbows. Perhaps trying to return the favour to Ludwig Kaiser. And Chad Gable hung up on the top rope. And Ludwig Kaiser playing up to the crowd now, but the crowd are firmly behind Chad Gable here. And what on earth just happened there? Now, oh, Gunther's out here, the Intercontinental Champion, causing a bit of a distraction. Chad Gable was able to get on top of things briefly, but Gunther successfully distracting Chad Gable there, and Ludwig Kaiser back on top, but he doesn't realise Chad Gable's behind him. Back to his feet, and Chad Gable able to gain some momentum again. Getting back on top of things here. Trying to work on the torso of Ludwig Kaiser. Into the cover now. Chad Gable can't quite get the victory just yet. Needs to deliver a little bit more damage perhaps. Chad Gable feeling it here. Again, targeting that back and that spine and the torso of Ludwig Kaiser. Chad Gable just taking his time, heading to the top rope now. What could he be looking for here? He wants Ludwig Kaiser to make his way to his feet. Ludwig Kaiser does, and there's a big forearm. Chad Gable could be closing in on a victory right here. May have been looking for that ankle lock, but Ludwig Kaiser was able to avoid it. Now Chad Gable lining Ludwig Kaiser up, perhaps into the German suplexes, the trifecta, and into the third. Could he perhaps be going for the cover now? A wise move, ring awareness by Chad Gable, although he's rolled him back towards the ropes. I'm not sure if that's going to be a mistake. He may have wasted some time here, but no! Chad Gable picks up the victory. I thought maybe he might have wasted some time there, and even though there was a bit of that distraction by Gunther, Chad Gable still able to come out on top. But that gash above the eyebrow could cause to be somewhat of a problem for Chad Gable. But the next time we will see him, he will be facing Gunther in that one-on-one Intercontinental Championship match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Okay, so moving on with the show, and we've got the Women's World Champion, the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. The next time that we see her after tonight is going to be at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. She is taking on Ronda Rousey, an old foe of hers, who she did face in last year's Universe mode, and she was successful in defending her title against her last year, so she'll be looking to replicate the same kind of success as she did last year. But let's see what Rhea Ripley has to say. She's going to address the WWE Universe out here. And I do believe that Ronda Rousey actually isn't in the building here tonight, I'm afraid, so we won't see her until the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, so I guess that's why Rhea Ripley has decided to come on out here and share some words with the WWE Universe. I'm sure she'll have some words for Ronda Rousey. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get into this. Let's see what Rhea Ripley has to say. Okay, so into the ring, and Rhea Ripley, she says, you know, it's funny. Every time I turn on my TV or step in this ring, there she is, Ronda Rousey. I'm surprised she isn't already out here before me. I was going to say, she's not out here today, but the supposed baddest woman on the planet, Rhea says. But let me tell you something, Ronda. Oh, God. What's she going to do in here? Your reputation doesn't impress me. You see, Ronda, I've worked my entire life for this moment. I've clawed my way up from the bottom, fought tooth and nail for every opportunity, and I've earned the right to stand here as your WWE Women's World Champion. To be fair, she has, but you, Ronda, you walked in here whenever you please, expecting everything to be handed to you on a silver platter. You think just because you were successful for 5 minutes in another sport, oh my God, she's going for the burn here, you automatically deserve to be top of the mountain in WWE. But Rhea wants to make one thing crystal clear. You don't deserve this. Oh, you don't deserve the opportunities you're given time and time again. Well, I guess Rhea's getting fed up of facing the same opponent. You don't deserve this to step foot in the ring with someone who's sacrificed everything to be where they are right now. So I guess she's referring to herself. So Ronda at Money in the Bank, when we face off for her championship, just know that Rhea isn't fighting for just herself. She's fighting for every woman who has ever had to work twice as hard to get half the recognition. She's fighting for every wrestler who has poured their heart and soul into the business, only to be overshadowed by someone like Ronda Rousey. Oh, and mark my words, Ronda, when that final bell rings and Rhea's victorious, it won't just be a win for her, it will be a win for every single person who has ever been told they weren't good enough. Because Ronda, you may be the baddest woman on the planet, but we all know that Mami is always on top. So moving on with the show, and we just heard from the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley, had some strong words for Ronda Rousey and a clear message sent to Ronda for that Money in the Bank clash. But we are in our main event, and as Stone Cold announced earlier on tonight, the 3 superstars in this matchup had an opportunity to possibly head to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to fight for that Intercontinental Championship, but they were unsuccessful. Now all 3 of those superstars have an opportunity to head to the Money in the Bank ladder match. So Chad Gable was successful at defeating these 3 in a fatal 4-way a few weeks back to become the #1 contender for that Intercontinental Championship. But here tonight, only one of them will move on to that Money in the Bank ladder match, so there's got to be questions asked about what would be next for the other 2. Because if they have 2 big losses on their record, then I'm not sure if there's any coming back from that. But the first competitor out here is Shinsuke Nakamura, looking to head to a Money in the Bank ladder match once again. looking to get that briefcase and potentially get back into that world title picture. Let's get on with this show and let's bring out the next superstar. So Shinsuke Nakamura waiting for his next opponent, which is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ have a lot of history. I'm sure that they know each other very well, and they're both trying to get back to the top of the mountain in WWE. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, looking to head to that Money in the Bank ladder match and potentially get that briefcase and head back into that main title picture as well. But let's move on and let's get in with this last competitor for this action, for this match. Okay, so the last man to make his way out here is none other than Tommaso Ciampa, previous NXT champion, making his way out here, looking to get himself involved in, I believe, his first Money in the Bank ladder match. And if he is victorious, then it will obviously be his first Money in the Bank success. So can he get himself into that world title picture? He hasn't yet on the main roster been able to get into that world title picture. As I said, he's a previous NXT champion, but since moving on up to the main roster, he's struggled a little bit. But this could be where he finds his feet. What a victory it would be for him. Let's get into this main event. So, main event action for you. The crowd seemed to be really behind it, was chanting "This is awesome" for a second there. But Tommaso Ciampa, AJ Styles and Shinsuke ready for this main event. And here we go. Shinsuke Nakamura with a quick kick right out of the gates. AJ Styles delivering a forearm to Shinsuke. So yeah, these three superstars did have an opportunity at getting in that Intercontinental title picture, but Chad Gable was the man who came out on top of that matchup between those four. And now these guys pretty much have a chance at redemption, a second chance, and if anything, may even be a better opportunity, because that briefcase, they could go for any title they want. They won't be stuck to just the Intercontinental Championship, which is probably going to be, to dethrone Gunther is probably going to be one hell of a challenge. So good luck to Chad Gable, especially after suffering with that cut above the eyebrow earlier tonight. But now, as for this matchup, AJ Styles trying to dominate things here, but didn't realise that Shinsuke was back on his feet. And now Shinsuke going up against Tommaso Ciampa into a German suplex. And Ciampa wisely rolling to the apron there. And AJ Styles has a kendo stick, but luckily Shinsuke was aware that AJ was making his way back into the ring. And Tommaso Ciampa taking Shinsuke towards the corner here, slams him face first into that turnbuckle. Now AJ Styles looking for a suplex perhaps, but into a neck breaker instead, and going for the cover here, which I'm not sure why AJ would have done that. Maybe he didn't realise that Shinsuke was behind him, but now he's just had a German suplex for his worries. Shinsuke now going for, a face buster there. But Tommaso Ciampa just straight back to his feet and delivers a knee, but doesn't quite connect with it on either superstar. And another German suplex. Tommaso Ciampa landing face first that time. Now what's AJ Styles going for here? A burning hammer. Now both these men, or all of these men, heading to the outside. Tommaso Ciampa with a kendo stick, and he's busted Shinsuke Nakamura wide open. Well, these guys tonight have been leaving everything on the line. First Chad Gable, now Shinsuke getting busted wide open. AJ looking for another weapon. These guys are loving the kendo sticks. You'd think this was a kendo stick match. 3 kendo sticks at play. Each superstar could have 1 each. Would love to see that. A bit of a kendo stick war. Now, Shinsuke sent into the steel steps by AJ, and AJ had some words for Shinsuke, but received a knee to the jaw for good measure from, oh my goodness, Tommaso Ciampa, and then a DDT And Tommaso Ciampa looked like he may have caught Shinsuke as he was going for that drop kick there. Now AJ sending Tommaso back into the ring. And AJ and Shinsuke locking up here. AJ Styles. Oh my goodness, a brain buster on the outside. And that was Tommaso Ciampa wiping out AJ Styles with that suicide dive. Oh my word. The action is non-stop here. These three men know what's at stake. They know that their career could really go downhill if they're unsuccessful here tonight, because that will be 2 big losses in a row. AJ Styles with those forearms and receives a kick to the jaw by Shinsuke Nakamura. Another German suplex. It feels like Brock Lesnar's back in the company. Feels like Suplex City. AJ Styles delivering that reverse DDT. Now Tommaso Ciampa missing with that strike, and AJ Styles could be looking to finish it here into the calf crusher. Tommaso Ciampa's in some trouble. Shinsuke Nakamura missed with the first kick, but luckily he was able to connect with the second. Tommaso Ciampa could have been seconds away from perhaps tapping out, but Shinsuke now into the cover, but AJ Styles able to get the shoulder up. And AJ on the apron here, not really where the opponent would want him. AJ makes his way back into the ring. Doesn't fancy the phenomenal forearm just yet. Now Tommaso Ciampa from behind. He's feeling it here, trying to get the crowd behind him. Big right hand to Shinsuke Nakamura. Quick strikes now to AJ Styles, slams him down. Now Tommaso Ciampa's lining up AJ here, but Shinsuke Nakamura is still in the corner there, and he delivers the fairy tale ending. Is Shinsuke Nakamura perhaps gonna steal one here? He's not, no. Shinsuke heads to the outside. AJ Styles quickly back to his feet into that moonsault. Shinsuke grabs the sledgehammer and decided to break up the pinfall without it. A lot of weapons coming into play here. Of course, this is no DQ. Triple threat rules. Big right hand from AJ sends Shinsuke down to the mat, and oh my goodness, we've got an all-out brawl. And a suplex delivered by Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa says that this is over. Going for a bit of ground and pound. Into the cover now, Tommaso Ciampa. Rope breaks are not a factor in this matchup. Actually, that's a good point. It wouldn't have mattered if Tommaso Ciampa was in the middle of the ring earlier for that calf crusher, but AJ Styles looking for the Styles clash. Shinsuke Nakamura is still in action here. What's AJ thinking? He could have sent Shinsuke out of the ring perhaps and then gone for the cover, but Shinsuke telling him to come on and bring it, but AJ was in the cover, and I thought that Shinsuke may have missed breaking that up for a second there. Tommaso Ciampa going to the outside, creating some room, having a bit of a breather. Now Shinsuke Nakamura could be lining up AJ Styles here, and he's delivered the Kinshasa. This could be all over. I believe Tommaso Ciampa is still outside the ring, but AJ Styles was able to get that shoulder up. I don't think Tommaso Ciampa would have made it back into the ring in time. More ground and pound delivered by Tommaso. And stomped to the midsection for good measure. Big right hands. And AJ Styles wipes out Tommaso Ciampa from behind. Now AJ playing up to the crowd. Tommaso Ciampa into a German suplex again. Looking to end this one perhaps. But Shinsuke Nakamura is back and able to break things up. And a huge knee by Tommaso Ciampa. He's trying to stay on top of things here. I believe AJ Styles may have been busted open there. It looks like he's got a cut across the forehead. And into the cover goes Shinsuke. This one could be all over. Shinsuke Nakamura gets the victory. So, what is next for AJ Styles and Tommaso Ciampa? They've missed out on two big opportunities in this universe mode. But Shinsuke Nakamura will be the next competitor heading to that men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have one more spot available, and we know it's going to be a surprise, but Who on earth could it be?